Hey everyone, thank you for joining in. I'm just getting everything set up. I'm waiting on Ada Girl to get here to bring her up, and we will be getting started soon. Hey Jeff, how you doing?
Good, how's it going? Let me go see where Lucy's at.
Yeah, she just popped in. Popped out.
There she is.
There she is. Hey girl. Let me get you up here.
Yep.
Hey fam, how's it going?
What's up, Chronic?
Yo, what's going on, brother? How we doing?
Pretty good, man.
Busy day, man. How was y'all Saturday?
Dude,
Same.
so busy, but a good busy, It's like one of these things that, as long as you're doing something to start helping other people, hey, that's a good busy.
That's amazing. What were y'all doing today?
Trading Bright Pals.
Well, he was trading Bright Pals all day, but I had a women's roundtable with Nighthawk today. And we also had like a CNFT award, CNFT trivia award show before the roundtable. So it took up most of my day, but it was so much fun. It was really great. I can go on ahead and pin that up to the top too if anybody wants to see it. But she said there are going to be more roundtables for women. So I'm like, I already put your name in the hat, Krissy. So I'm hoping that next time we'll be there together.
I would love that. I actually did. I want to go back and watch it. Please do pin it because earlier I was trying to join it and it just kept staying frozen. Did you guys have any issues or was that just on my end? I was like, is that even going? They're
Yeah,
live.
we didn't have any issues, but we were in a different server. Like we were on the actual streaming application, so we weren't like on YouTube. So that's maybe the reason.
And it might have been my.
It worked for me, so maybe it was just your connection.
It must have been. And then I didn't check back. We've been so busy today too, getting ready to leave for vacation, just packing like crazy, waiting till last minute. That's just how it is. So I've been doing that ever since until now. Excited to be sitting back.
Where are you guys going? Where are you guys going on vacation?
We are leaving. We're going to head to Orlando first for like 4 nights or so. And then we're going to be heading up to Myrtle Beach for the next week after that with my sister and her family. So we're going to Orlando with Chronic's brother and their family, and then Myrtle Beach with my sister and theirs. So it'll be really fun. A lot of family time vacation.
That sounds amazing. I love those places. I love just like Florida and all the beaches. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys are going to have an amazing time.
Oh, I've just been dreaming of the beach. I cannot wait to see it, smell it, feel it, everything. Bring it all.
Right. I know. You're like, I'm ready.
Everything.
Margaritas on the beach.
Yes. Oh, I cannot wait. That's great. No, but yeah, how did that roundtable go?
It was truly incredible. So like I was there, Shannon from JPEG Store, Maria from Artano was there. We also had oh my gosh, the mom from Claymates, Lally.
Oh, Lally.
She was there. Yeah, she was so wonderful too. Oh my gosh. It was great. Alyssa from the Never Engine was in there. Ali Illustrated was in there. I mean, we just had such a great time. Yeah, it was super
Who was
fun.
the one from Voodoo Brigada?
Oh yeah. She has a very exotic name, but she is one of the designers for Voodoo Brigada, and she was phenomenal. She was so great.
Oh, did you pin that? Oh, not yet. No, but I definitely will check that out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna pin that. It definitely so good, girl. I can't wait till you join us because it is really cool.
Oh, I bet. I bet it was such a good time hanging out with all the ladies. And you get to see them on, I'm used to doing those YouTube lives with Chronic and all, but it would be fun to definitely do it with you ladies. That would be amazing. Whole different vibe.
Totally different vibe.
So you guys are going on vacation with family. How much are you guys gonna like talk them into crypto or what? I know Chronic's gonna be talking about it nonstop.
Oh, yeah, they all know
Yeah,
everything about it all. We've gone pretty far
but
with, but we try.
yeah, I've been trying to get him. He put I got him into Bitcoin. He supposedly bought at 8,000 and like 300 ETH. And he bought like 80K worth, and last year it was like 250. And then it's all in Celsius, right? So good luck.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's not
exactly.
good, man.
Not
Shoot.
exactly,
I
exactly.
did see that they were able to pay all their stuff off, like,
Sure.
but I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Right. So I told them, we've been telling them forever to try to get in, get their own wallets and this and that, And he never did listen. He's a silver stacker, right? So, you know, hopefully it does, brother. Because I was telling him, but he's just he's a long holder, and it is what it is. He knows what's happening in the economy, but you know, it's tough that you can't touch that. You know what I mean? You're at the mercy of Celsius.
Yeah, there was it's Ada Girl and I, we talk a lot about that, and we've tried to pull as much as we can off. But there's like some stuff. It's just like where do you put it? Because, for example, Cody, you have to have the Cody Pay wallet, and you can't do it in the U.S. So you can either wrap it, which I mean, you know how that goes, but um, it's just like I don't know how you get all. If you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that kind of stuff, ADA, it's easy to get off. But when you start getting into those more speculative coins, it's hard to move some of that stuff off.
Yeah, exactly. We were fortunate just to move all our stuff. I was on Voyager, eToro. eToro wouldn't let me move my ADA. Remember, they don't have an off ramp. And then right when I cashed out to get a taxable event, they got the off ramp like later than they said. I had it on Uphold, and then Voyager and Celsius. I got in Coinbase. I took them off of everything, converted pretty much every coin other than like some XRP airdrops, like Songbird, and I'm waiting on a Flare airdrop whenever that comes. But yeah, everything else is gone into ADA, and then some now has gone into ETH here just past couple weeks or a month, right? Converted some ADA into ETH and got in the Gutter Cat gang. DJ Tunes is next.
That's so cool.
Come
But I
on,
wanted to take a
come
moment. I
on.
wanted to take a moment to see if everyone can just like tweet out the space so that we can get more folks in here, and then we can get to like the real nitty gritty of getting to get to know our husbands and our teamwork for NFTs. And I'm just so happy to see all these faces in here. We got Cobra, my brother, Stevie, my other brother. Yeah. We got Goose, got Hecka, Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey. And we've got the sexy man, CNFT me, please. Yes.
Hell
And
yeah.
and we've got Crypto Mopars. Yay. Uh yeah, so please tweet out the space and then we can get started. I'm super excited to see all you guys in here.
Yes, thank you.
Krissy, you want to go over like what we're going to be talking about and everything?
Yeah, so we were thinking about, starting off with, we want to hear different views on what it is like if you are in a partnership or relationship, what have you, and if your significant other is into NFTs, are they not into NFTs? Are they completely against NFTs? What is your situation like? Because Ada Girl and I, we obviously have a very similar situation with Chronic and Malibu Ken. We are a married couple together doing it and got in it, somewhat together. But we definitely would like to hear if you have opposite situations. Do you have someone who kind of is interested but doesn't really want to mess with it? Do you have someone who completely doesn't care, and then someone who is completely against it? Let me know. Hey, Stevie.
Oh shit, this thing working? What's going on?
What up, brother?
What's up,
Hey,
Stevie?
Stevie.
How you doing?
Chilling. It's great to be here. I feel like this question was kind of directed at me, not really, but kind of. Um, I'm glad you ladies are doing this space, and you as well, Malibu Jeff over there. What up? So yeah, thanks for letting me say something. Um, I have a very special lady. We've been together for a hot minute, kind of in a similar type of family as Krissy and our boy Chronic over there. We're blended. And my lady does not give a shit about NFTs. Like,
Well, Stevie, I've been telling you, you bring her to Vegas and just tell her that, there's girls here, we can have some drinks, and Krissy and I will take care of her for you. By the time you leave Vegas, she'll be ready to go.
I
She's
hope
gonna have
so. I hope so.
all of the account, everything, the NFTs, and then you're gonna be like, "What did you guys do to my wife? She's spending all of my
And
money."
my wallet. Yes.
That's fine with
Yes.
me because I see Krissy and Chronic, I see Ada Girl and Malibu, and it's just something to be jealous of in the world of NFTs. You know?
And I'm going to be really honest. I think that a lot of women just don't get it, and I think, I don't know if you guys have ever read that book, Women Are from Venus and Men Are from Mars. We do communicate in
Classic.
different ways, right? We communicate in just different ways. And so when they hear information coming from a woman, they're like, oh, I totally get that. And this happens to me at my meetups in person all the time. Like, some guy will bring his wife to the meetup just because he doesn't want to come alone, and she's just like, oh God, this is fucking horrible. But by the time, she sees a woman there, talking about it, really leading the conversation, they get so inspired, and they're just like, oh my God, I want to be in this. So as we do these meetups, these women get into it because it just hits different coming from a woman. I'm telling you.
No, I feel that. You know, a great person once said the medium is the message, and sometimes it's who that reporter is that gets to that receiver. So yeah, that's going to be the plan. We're going to be in Vegas. I'm taking the kids to go do some stupid shit. The older one, he wants to roll through CNFT con like a pimp, but whilst we do that, you can kidnap my lady and teach her the ways.
All right, Krissy, we got a challenge.
Yes, I cannot wait.
You've been challenged. If you fail, I get mad brisket. Just saying.
Oh, I
Brother, we're not
brisket.
gonna fail.
But
Uh,
yeah, I gotta check out in a second because that special lady of which I was just or of whom I was just speaking is in for me right now.
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, if you had the chance, or if somebody does have the chance to come up and say what the experience is then like, if your significant other is completely, not into it at all, is it hard to get away to do what you want to do, or is it, pretty understandable?
Oh well, that's real quick before I tap out of here. On the other end, she might not really care about the NFT thing, but she totally gives me that all that time that I need to do all that stuff. So like, there's certain nights like Friday nights where that the expectation for the night is hanging out with the wild cards. So like, we were going to get tickets to the Red Sox game, and the choice was Friday or Monday, and she immediately grabbed Monday, knowing that Friday night is for NFT life. You know,
Wild card.
wild cards, bitches.
That's right.
That was a good episode last night. Wild cards with
It
wild
was.
tangs. on it.
For
Enjoyed
real. For
while I
real.
was packing.
They sold out last night. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, that was cool to listen to as they went
Yeah,
further and further.
we snagged a few last night. We helped with that sellout.
I think that's because Ada Girl was all over some good bourbon last night and was just getting click happy on that purchase button.
Yeah, I like wild tangs, but I like the utility of wild tangs. And y'all, I'm
Yep.
having some whiskey tonight too. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not chilling myself or Wild Tangs, but just a heads up that one of our homies did do a video tutorial on how to actually use the Wild Tangs utility through their website. So, holla at your boy. Good shit.
Yeah, that was so
I've been
fire,
minting
so
all
good.
day. I didn't watch his video, but I just figured it out. But I mean, man, that's like it's fire. If you guys want to mint free NFTs, again, not shilling either, but the cool thing is if you hold a Wild Tangs, you can go to his website. He's got a Tangs tool, and you can do one-on-one free mints, or you can set up a vending machine. So it's kind of cool. He's kind of a smart little dude, man. So I really dig him. Anyway,
I'm gonna step down, but thank you so much for letting me speak for a little while tonight.
see you, Stevie.
Thanks,
Love you
Stevie.
Love you, guy.
a lot.
Thank you for
Love you too,
joining.
man.
Love.
So I have a question for Chronic because I know that you guys, you mentioned last time that when we were here that he kind of started talking to you about CNFTs. So I wanted to ask him, how did he go about to try to get you on board? Like, what was his thought process?
Well, I will go ahead and start a little bit about that because he just put our little one back down, so he's walking back to it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll probably have you ask him that in just a couple minutes again, but I will tell you that it took a long time for him, and I feel so bad, but I just could not. I couldn't. I just could not even. He talks so fast. I mean, he just is a very big source of knowledge, and he holds it all in and can just put, just speak it so fast. He's thinking, so quickly. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you've told me a million things right now. And I know it's all correct. And I know you're right because you are a really big researcher, but it is hard for me to grasp what you're even talking about and what this new thing is. So yeah, I'd like to hear from his side as well because God love him. Sorry about that. It took a while, but now I'm here.
So so sorry about that. What was the question, Ada girl? I'm sorry.
The question was really like, when she talked about her story last time, she said
Yeah.
that you were in crypto first, like you were
Oh
in
yeah.
it. And
Sure.
so, you had to, at some point try to convince her. So how did you do that? Because I know that there's a
Absolutely.
lot of guys in that same boat. And look at where Krissy is now. Like she is a superstar. So what did you do?
Thank you.
What were your
It is.
techniques?
Well, I being at the oil refinery, like Jeff, right? He actually probably works. I was an operator, so I probably like chilled and slept and watched more movies than actual work I did. So I researched Bitcoin way back in since Dread Pirate Roberts and shit. Like I seen the movie and all you heard it was for drugs and this, that, and the other. So yeah, man, I had exposure way back then, but finally in like 2000, yeah, I forget exactly when I first bought anything, but really started researching 2017. I self-directed all of my 401ks and everything when I left Exxon. I took over my my 401ks. I said, give me that stuff, let me learn. Wasn't always the best decisions, right? Because you learn hard. I should have went a little easier, but yeah, I learned a grayscale Bitcoin trust. Seen it was like $5 at the time, and I'm like, damn, that's when like Bitcoin was like at 3K, and I'm like, shit, I missed the boat because I seen Bitcoin at 100, and I'm thinking, Could have got $100. It would have been like, I don't know, some tens of millions at the time. And I was like, ah. So I started telling her about it. Luckily, we came into some money to where we ended up getting gold and silver. Right. Wish we would have put 66% of the money into crypto and not into gold and silver, because they're pretty stagnant at the same prices where they were when we bought them. We ended up selling out of the gold and silver, to pay some bills or whatnot. But we luckily got into Bitcoin. ETH at like 300, and then once I heard Charles Hoskinson speak, on the whiteboards and all that good stuff, I sold everything at 9 cents to 12 cents, and then the rest, all she wrote. I started listening to Elio. I was big into YouTube, right? YouTube University for multiple years. Elio Trades, Crypto Crow, from the BitBoy Cruise, all of them dudes, but they were all talking freaking ETH. And Elio Trade is like, man, I'm making so much money flipping NFTs. And a couple years ago, when I got a MetaMask wallet and all of that, like I got .crypto accounts. I got like Medical Chronic .crypto and you know what I mean? Like, whatever. So that was like that was before Bored Apes. That was before CryptoPunks. I seen a CryptoPunk at 1 ETH. And I told her, I said, look at this silly ass thing with a cigarette in his mouth. Why would someone spend $300 right now? Right? Seriously. And the same thing, Sandboxes was the same spot. And I said, Krissy, look at this fucks. Like, they fucking spending real money on fake money. That's what I did with the Hobbit on the game, the app. I bought Mithril. So, again, it all kind of came into play, like Smog Pool, Mithril, all this shit led me to the Cardano. I really, truly believe that. All that shit, Krissy and I, it's weird. So, yeah, just once I heard these guys making all this money on Ethereum, I done sold out my ETH. So I was bitter as hell. Y'all know how that goes. I'm like, missed the boat, didn't buy the punks, didn't buy the apes, didn't buy the land. Now I'm sitting with a fucking, a decent bag of Cardano, and I'm like, fuck. Crypto Crow is talking about his fucking like Cabbage Patch Dog magazine, whatever the fuck he was doing. And I'm like, wow, Cardano has NFTs? What? So then he started talking about Sunday swap and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, got to get my money off my exchange. But yeah, man, I was in it for a long time. I was trying to tell Krissy about the ins and outs of stuff. It just didn't make sense to her, right? Until like maybe Gary V with the golden burrito about Chipotle that you could eat like, for forever on a golden burrito. You might spend one. So I tried to explain the utility. And yeah, it was just a long time of, a lot of stank eye, a lot of me talking and her like trying to listen.
A lot of what the
Yeah,
hell are you on there?
she
What?
didn't get it.
I'm sorry.
So
She
there
didn't
was,
get it. Like I
I
was into the finances, right? So right when you learn about finances, you learn about, hard assets, and you learn about real money and what they're doing with your money. Then I went into the damn rabbit hole straight up of the history of money. And then, that's when everyone leads you to gold, silver, and then it leads you to crypto. So that's how we, unless you just get lucky and stumble upon it. But I literally did my research and, you know, just came to a conclusion that this is the future. I could see that. Yeah, and that didn't answer your question probably at all, Ada girl.
No,
But
it
yeah,
did. No,
it
it
was
totally
just
did.
yeah,
Krissy,
But I want
uh,
to ask
a
another
long
real quick.
road of me just in the books, literally trying to show her what's the deal, and then luckily Aquine and Fahad's white paper, and a few other wins like Chill Kongs or a few other wins saying, "Yo, I put this much money into it, and then I could take out this," and it was try to show it. It's kind of like the interactive stock market more so because like the stock market is not as fun as this, and if you can dabble in like traditional finance, like this is pretty easy in my opinion. So yeah, and I'm thankful that she took it with open arms and finally met some good people that really made her feel welcome, because that was it. Because if people in Chill Kong's community didn't make her feel welcome at first, like we wouldn't have been in this, because without her I wouldn't have been able to actually dive deep and dedicate so much
She
time.
she also mentioned that you had given her the white paper for equine, and you knew that she loved horses. So was that calculated? Was that like you saying maybe she'll get into
right.
it with these horses.
Well, Ada girl almost died. Like we were gonna, like she told you last, like the YouTube video, we were gonna do the family stuff for a long time. Like we bought all the camera stuff, and we don't know how to edit. We just thought it was easy, right? And then we just went literally like a month and a half before horseback riding for the first time, and I'm like, I almost fell off the mountain, and I'm not even joking with that. Like just I was terrified, and obviously the horse felt it, and so I'm like, hey. We don't have a farm. She's talking about, I'm a fucking city boy and she's a country girl, and she's talking about chickens and goats and pigs and horses and shit. And all I'm thinking is fucking money. That's a sick car. It sounds expensive to me. It sounds cool and all, but yeah. So here's this digital horse, and this is where it's at. So yeah, that kind of played into that, and it just so happened that it was freaking light bulb passive income potential out the yazoo, and then we could do our YouTube channel and really just pay our bills on our business plan that we came up with last December. So it
Yeah.
was calculated, just kind of got lucky, right? How everything falls in.
Yeah. So then really what guys should take away is trying to find something like yummy or something super cute like Bribe Pals that maybe their lady would get into, and then just start talking to them and showing them that. It's like, oh, that's so super cute. But yeah, I think that's a great story. And we have three new speakers, CNFT, Gully, and Game. So if you guys have a question,
Mm.
just put your hands up and then we'll, ask Chronic some more
got
questions.
I got one more thing, and we always forget this, Krissy. I don't know how we got in this Ecomi, right? Omi, the fucking dude. We got buku NFTs, and then Krissy, I fucking excuse my language. I'm getting excited now. I find out she's setting an alarm every day. I'm like, what the hell are you setting an alarm for? She's like,
Dude,
dude, the
yeah.
Ecomi mints, and I'm like, and she actually was setting it at the wrong time. But
And
dude, she actually, dude, she's got like some argon, like she got some cubes, she's got some
she's a boss,
Ghostbusters.
man.
I
She's
So
a
forgot
that
that
boss.
was
we
that was really our first NFTs that I forget. We were like, wow, because we on that Veve wallet, and I'm like, wow, you know what I mean. So I always forget that, and that really made her real, think about this is the future of NFTs. Because if you would have got a Mickey Mouse or a Spider Man, you know what I mean, them things were stupid expensive. So
Yeah,
honestly,
they're
yeah,
high
when
that
we
we
quality
got
always
for
forget
sure.
about that story.
when we were doing that, so I still had no idea what was going on. Yeah, I was just buying them because you were saying that we should buy them and they were cute. When we got into, at least when I read Quine and all of that, I really started understanding what was going on. But I still had fun buying them, and I understood that people flipped them and sold them for more and they could gain value. So I was excited about that. I just couldn't grasp why. Yep, we have a bunch of Veve.
Yeah, those VV auctions, yeah, the VV auctions are crazy awesome, super high quality 3D NFTs. And I love them too, but I could never get them. They would sell out so fast,
We were in it
literally.
before
So
it got popular, girl. I was in
Damn,
Omi. I was like, I need to get this coin, Chrissy. It's like this. It's like 0.000 something. It's gonna be this and next thing. But you had to like trust the decks and send your money to this and this. And I'm like, dude, I don't. I was terrified. I didn't put my receiving address right because I thought they were gonna steal my shit. I'm like, didn't know anything. They put in that scanner. I'm like, what is that? Like it was terrifying until you do it, right?
definitely. And I think that yours dynamic is really like great to know how you guys kind of navigated that and how you guys kind of joined eventually. But in our dynamic, with me and Malibu, we went in it together. So I don't know if Malibu wants to talk about that, if you guys have any questions with Malibu about that. But it was a little different dynamic, but we both got to the same place, right? So that's what's so beautiful about this space.
So who really came to the other about it first? I mean, if you got into it around
Well,
the same time, who kind of said, "Hey, let's check out crypto and NFTs"?
so I've been in my career is in IT, right? I built large data centers, worked on oil and gas, building large data centers. So I've worked in IT and I've been in IT a long time. I lived through Web 2 back in the day. when Amazon was selling books out of a garage, right? So I've been around a long time. I've had friends that mined ETH, were Bitcoin miners, all that kind of stuff back in the day, and they would explain it to me. But it was at the time when I was just like, hey, I just don't really. It's not something that I have interest for right now. And so, we met about 3 years ago, and we've been married like 2.5 years. And we both are like, hey, we have goals and things that we want to accomplish. And Ada Girl finished her degree last year. She's a doctor. She's actually a Dr. Ada Girl, right? Because she got her doctorate. And and I'm like just going, okay, we gotta accelerate, like we gotta make something happen. And so she was really, we were thinking about stocks and all these things, but really she was like, she kind of took the whole charge with crypto, right? And it was actually Doge was our end game last year. And she goes, babe, I wanna buy some Doge. And she went out and got a Robinhood account, bought some Doge. And I'm like, yeah, knock yourself out. Like, let's see what happens. And it just opened up the floodgates for us to really dive deep. And we both kind of went full bore into it. And I was more interested at that time to now crypto is a real thing. And I'll be real honest, like early on, we saw Charles's whiteboard video, and we saw his like vision video, and we just were immediately drawn to Cardano because of Charles. And so we just did a deep dive into just about every type of crypto you can think about. I mean, to figuring out like what Bitcoin was, what Ethereum does, what all the different blockchains, Avalanche, Polygon, Polkadot. Like we just kind of like went full bore and just was studying and trying to figure out what the difference is, where our place should be. And actually we did really well on Luna, and that was Ada Girl. Like she's like, hey, let's hop in. I mean, when are you gonna buy? Luna's $5. Let's just buy a bag. And I'm a gambler, so I'm like, hell yeah, let's just buy it. So we bought a bunch of it, and we did really well on Luna. We got out of it before the whole crash. And so it was really Ada Girl. Like she had finished up school, and she's just she loves knowledge. Like she just is always, that's what really keeps her brain just like going and going. She loves knowledge, and I'm a gambler. So whenever you combine those two together, it's a pretty solid combination there. And she'll come to me and she's like, babe, I want to buy this. I'm like, all right, let's buy a bag. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, she'll want to buy like $50. I'm like, no, let's buy $500. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, and that's how we kind of do things. It's like she does a lot of research, and she's way more got her ear to the ground than I do. But then when she comes to me, I know when she comes to me and she says she wants to buy something, that she's researched it. Like I don't have to. It's kind of weird because she wants to explain it all. I'm like, I mean, it's like, do you believe in it? Yeah, okay, let's do it. And so that's really where we're at. I mean, I have my convictions too, and there's things that I know. I'm a little bit more cautious from a standpoint of like, I want to make sure like we're moving stuff into wallets, and we're protecting ourselves from security, like, and looking at taxes and tax implications and all these things. And so she lets me handle that more technical part of it, and she handles the like finding the new projects and getting on whitelist, and finding out about whether we should go all in on something. So our that's how we work. And it's really nice because I'm not the kind of guy that wants to sit down and go through Discord. I don't really like Discord. I like Twitter Spaces. I like talking to you guys. I like having conversations. She likes to get really involved and talk to a lot of people and meet a lot of people. And so that's really how our dynamic works. And if she comes to me and says, babe, we should buy this, I don't even question it. I just go, okay, let me go see if I can find the coin to buy it, right? And so that's really how our relationship works. I don't, there's not many questions I ever had, because I know when she comes to me, she's done her work, and she's put in the time and effort, and she's done some amazing things. I mean, you probably heard of some of the things she's doing with, CFT Con, with Cardano Foundation. She's a Cardano ambassador. She reviews Catalyst proposals. She's working with the Blockchain Learning Center. Like, she's just doing some really amazing stuff, and I can barely keep up myself, because I just started a new job. I'm just doing what I know, and it's easy for me to make a good living, and do that type of stuff. But in the back of my mind, we both want to be in Web3 full time, and we do have those aspirations too. Like you guys were saying, that plan of like moving into Web3 full time, and possibly doing a YouTube channel. And that's why we're really involved in Twitter Spaces, and to share our story, and to meet people. And so I think it's very important that we build communities, and that's what we're doing with you guys.
Wow, Amy, you did a really good job because it's so spot on. And one thing I do want to say is that, I think he undersells himself because he knows a lot of stuff too, but this is what's so wonderful about the space. Like, there's so much dynamic, so many differences, but I think that us talking about what we're experiencing, hopefully you guys can relate to it, or kind of get some kind of, hey, okay, this is where I can go to get my partner into Web3. But one thing I do want to say is that there right now, we're so early, there's enough space for everyone to succeed. And I don't know, I guess a couple of months ago I had written this post where it said, I'm not here for just my success. We're here, and Krissy and I have talked about this, we're here to make everyone succeed, to give you guys the tools to converse about how, where we're at, because we're all going to make it. We just have to figure out how. And so, man, I'm super happy to be here. I'm super happy to have, started this space with Krissy. And Krissy is just, man, girl, I love you. And maybe it's the whiskey talking, but I don't think so, because have mad respect for you and Chronic. And so I'm just happy to be here, y'all.
I feel the same. We are just definitely kindred spirits. You are so sweet and kind. You guys are very similar to us. I can definitely resonate more with Malibu, where I'm sure Chronic can resonate more with you, Lucy. He's very big into being the researcher and all of that. And who knows what the heck I do? I do a lot of other things, but
Yeah.
but
You do
I
a
love
lot,
that.
girl. You do a
Yeah,
lot.
he's the
But yeah, it's
researcher. Let
like,
me just tell you that. I just do all the other extras.
yeah.
But yes, and so it is exciting to be up here and tell our story, and to help others, maybe if they want to bring their significant other in, or if they want to come in and have questions. Please always feel free to invite them in here. They can make a Twitter account. Tell them not to feel, nervous. Come on up and ask questions. This will be a safe space for them to come in and be brand new. But Gully, what is up, my friend? What about your situation in NFTs?
What do you mean, how I got into them?
Yeah, and like, do you have anyone who you would like to get into NFTs with you, or would you like to have someone like a partner with you in it, or do you like kind of doing it alone and not having to worry about, what someone else says, or having to agree?
Yeah, I think that's really how I've approached everything in my life, is just more like that lone wolf mentality, more just like do it on my own, and not necessarily have to have, yeah, another, I don't want to say a liability because it makes it sound like your partner is a liability, but you know what I mean? Just worrying about myself.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, because I know that Chronic and I have had those talks before, where he may feel really into wanting to make a decision and really excited about it, and then he comes to me, and here I am blowing it up, and I'm like, oh no, that sounds terrible. I don't even know that he's excited. And then all of a sudden it blows his steam out, and he would have preferred to maybe go ahead and just kind of do, that as well. So it's kind of like a balance you got to find on, like, agreeing together, or sometimes wanting to just do your own thing, you know, and make your own random crazy decisions because it's just a gut feeling.
Yeah, yeah, and that's cool that like when one person can bring their partner into it, but I'm sure there are people now who have become partners through NFTs, right? Just getting them to meet each other through spaces or discords or something, who knows?
That's a great
Yeah.
point, Garly.
Yeah, you never know. NFTs brings the world together.
Totally. And you know, one of the things that's so cool is like, for instance, when the space first started, you know, Krissy was doing her thing. She's like heading this whole space. She's like, you know, doing her thing. And then Chronic had to step away to help with the kids. That kind of teamwork is freaking amazing. And I think that that's one of the things too that's super beneficial, that both of the people in the couple, you know, the couple can succeed as together with that teamwork, because then you understand what's at stake, you understand why, you know, one person has to step up for just a bit. And I'm sure there's lots of times where Chronic is leading a space, and you know, Krissy is picking up what she can to alleviate that. I feel that and I see that, and that happens to me sometimes too. I have a 9-year-old, and he's here every other week. So when he's here, you know, Jeff helps me when I have spaces or I have an event. Like today, I had like a 3.5 hour event on YouTube, and he took care of, you know, little Tom Tom. And that's so helpful. And it's again, we lighten the load for each other. So, you know, I'm hoping that if you guys bring your lady partners to Vegas, trust me that there's not a lot of women, but we are going to help them understand too, to help to support you, you know. So let them, you know, send us a DM or something that they're coming, and we'll be ready for them, right, Krissy?
Absolutely. I'm so excited to meet a bunch of ladies at CNFT I can't wait. What is up, CNFT? Me, please. How you doing?
Good evening. Doing great. Nice to meet some of y'all I haven't met before. I know I've spoke with Chronic a few times and Ada Girl in Malibu. See some of the squad in there. Thank y'all for letting me come up. Have a opportunity where my wife is sitting next to me, who does not have a Twitter, does not do the crypto or the NFTs, but asks me how the NFTs are doing sometimes, and thought maybe she could answer y'all question from her perspective if y'all would like that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Maybe
please.
she can tell us what some of her like challenges are.
Yeah, what it's like on the other side when you really have no idea what's going on. You don't want to know, and what it's like watching them go through it.
Oh my gosh. Hearing it
What
all the
is up,
time.
girl?
Hearing it all the time, it's kind of making me want to go jump into this world of the NFTs, maybe to get a little competition. Already told him I'm gonna learn about it and probably do better than him.
Yes, girl.
Yes.
Yes.
Come to us,
I
girl.
think
We
the
will
first
help you.
year, yes, we will so help you.
I will. I'm trying to learn some of it. I hear all of him talking all the time about it, so I'm probably
Yeah, and
gonna
I think
jump
it's a
into it.
little hard to like get excited when you don't know exactly why you should get excited. But that's where it becomes really cool, where you can kind of get that information either from him and really listen to the why, you know, why it's important. Because really, and I know sometimes it maybe weighs a little bit better when it comes from a woman. But blockchain is the future. NFTs are the future, not just in just PFPs. We're talking in real estate, you know, medical records, digital IDs. These things are important, and it's going to make a big difference in the future.
Well, that's good to know. I will definitely take a look into it.
You're not gonna rip me and make fun of me at all on there.
Depends. If I get the opportunity, I will. It's on. Competition's on.
So, trying to onboard my wife. My wife is extremely smart, and she has been like a business minded mentality. This girl was hustling out candy in like elementary school growing up. So that's the goal. Get her interested, and we can join forces and kick some butt. And she'll probably show me up, and I'll be happy about that.
Yeah, it's like how I explain it to people. It's like garage selling without leaving your house. I mean, if you got a good eye on what to pick out, and it's obviously you're investing in a company. You can, if you are a business minded person, we speak with CEOs, COOs, the freaking CMOs, CFOs, all of them, whoever the damn team will be, right? Like we have access to them, and it's kind of like insider trading in a sense, not really insider knowledge. But it's pretty cool, and there are going to be a lot of utilities. There's going to be a lot of passive income. There already is, and it's a lot funner than the stock market. The stock market's bland and boring, and this here is a little different and fun. So definitely helps when you have someone else, a significant other, a partner, a team, to like just bounce ideas off or just snipe and have two wallets and two computers. Because it's I guarantee you one thing, brother, she will like money, right? You show her you put $100 and you turn it into two. She's gonna ask you how you turn it into something. You see, the money talks, bro. Like, and if you guys could be doing something together that y'all like, and actually have some utility, and if you had children like us, that's another reason we like it. Our kids like it, and we can see it. But yeah, man, good luck. It's awesome that she at least is sitting here listening to you on the space. That's step one. I think you got the hook in her cheek. You just need to yank a little harder, my man. It seems like she's willing.
Rock and roll. Appreciate
Facts.
y'all. Thank y'all for letting me come up. We'll step on down.
Absolutely. Get her a good project. Let her pick something. Show her what's up. And then if she makes the first win, shoot, it's over with. You know what I mean? It's over with. Especially if she can mint something fun. You know that adrenaline rush you mint and you send in something, even if it's a few bucks.
Yeah.
It's just your hooker. And then, hooker. That's you it
Oh
yeah.
my.
Yeah, pun on words. But you get my point, it's gonna be all out, and then you might wish you didn't have her in there because she will then treat it like it's Amazon with a package at the doorstep every day. So and your Ada will be gone. So nah, but it's always good, man. As long as you guys are on the same page and you're able to do this and y'all still sit next to each other on a sofa, you're doing well.
Yes, thank you for joining in. You guys are welcome anytime to come on up. If your lady comes on Twitter, tell her to come on up and talk anytime, or just come and listen. But we are happy to help her in any way. It is really fun and exciting to be able to do it with your significant other. So I give her all the encouragement. So if there's anyone else who wants to come up and tell their story, please do. Anything you want to ask about being partners in NFTs and crypto, please let us know. I also want to know if there are any people who are single in the crowd what you would prefer. Would you want to try to find a significant other who is already in crypto and NFTs if you could, or does it not really matter? Or would you really like that because you're so invested? Very curious.
Yeah, and you know what? There's another dynamic as well where it's just the woman in the couple who is into NFTs and maybe the partner is not. So I'd like to hear those types of stories too because that also happens. It's pretty interesting.
Yes, I think our friend Mopar actually said that on maybe our first space. She said that her significant other, I can't remember if it was husband or boyfriend, is not in to NFTs at all, and she just does it by herself. And that is just so cool to hear. And I would love to hear more about that dynamic if she's able to come up here. If not, it's okay, Mopar. But one day would love to hear more about your story and your side. What's up, Daly, my brother?
What's up? What's up? How is everybody doing?
Good,
Man.
Bailey. Thanks for coming up.
Yep. I heard your conversation on the single aspect of it. I've had a few girls that I've talked to that just completely do not fuck with NFTs whatsoever. And I've actually found it pretty interesting to go to these events because you would think that there'd be, I mean, by how this shit normally goes online, you'd think there's more guys than girls, but it's a pretty decent ratio, and there's some interesting people you can meet while you go out. So I've been enjoying that personally because it's kind of hard to find people who are like minded who also enjoy NFTs and want to, or even trade tokens and be in a relationship or anything like that. It's kind of a different dynamic that we're in with this shit. At least as a younger individual.
I was thinking, what an interesting. Hold on one second. My throat being weird. I was thinking how interesting it would be if you did go to those NFT meetups as a single person and meeting other single people there who are super into it, who are into the same world, how intriguing and exciting that might be, and want to pull you into that direction of being able to share in that space together, especially after going to something so exciting together and that seeming like the best scenario, rather than trying to explain to someone what you do every day, all day to daily. I know
Okay.
you're on it 24/7, so you would have to explain a lot to somebody who had no idea.
Okay.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's like my age range that is just not really like more of like women my age don't really fuck with NFTs or with trading, at least that I've seen. Um, they're either trying to party or like, you feel me, like I fuck with partying too. I like having a good time. I like drinking sometimes, like, you feel me, smoking and all that shit. But when it comes down to it, most aren't really trying to talk about trading. It's kind of funny. But going to these events, you find that everybody's interested in what you're interested in. So I've kind of shifted away from trying to even explain it to girls that I talk to. I kind of just say I'm doing shit, like I'm trading or some bullshit like that, and I don't get into it. And I don't really try anymore. But the few interactions that I've had with like some, you know, females that are in my life that I want to try and get a little bit closer to it, that shit fucking sucks. Like, the conversation does not go anywhere. It's the fucking worst thing ever. I could say, yo, check out how much this picture's worth, and they don't give a fuck at all. It's actually, to me, it's funny as fuck because like I said, I'm 25, so most of the people that I'm talking to that I'm trying to either date or whatever it may be, either close to that age. I kind of might date above my age too sometimes, but they're not really trying to fuck with that shit. So I show them a picture. It might be like worth like however much it's worth, and try to explain that to them. And they'd much rather, stay waitressing or like stay working at the fucking casino. Like, this shit is kind of funny to me. Like, I don't understand how to break that barrier. Be like, hey, like, this is so much easier. Just fucking learn about crypto, learn about NFTs.
I think soon, Daily, your age group, if you've seen that Twitter post yesterday showing about like the hexagon, I don't know, and it went, I'm sure it hit a lot of people that don't know, and it was literally a ape, a doodle, a cool cat, literally every head on every human body. And the people that don't know about NFTs, I think in 2-3 years, brother, you're gonna have a whole new audience. But secondly, like Krissy, I don't like where your head went thinking about single men and events and shit. But since we're going there, Daily, I mean, that's where you got to be linked up. Like, it would be sweet as hell to be on these Twitter spaces. And then when you do meet your partner, I think it's going to be that much, you're going to be very compatible, I think. And I think it's, yeah. I think, it's cool to be, that's where I think, yeah, it's pretty excellent. And when you go somewhere, that's how you're gonna have to go, because otherwise, man, they're gonna get forced into it in a couple years. And
Yeah,
you'll ease in and explain it to them, but it's much easier to have someone on your side from jump, because you don't need that riffraff. You're trying
yeah.
about
I
making that
think
money now.
I think I just wanted to bring it up too because I feel like maybe a lot of people who get involved in crypto and are also, because like you, to be somebody who trades crypto on a daily basis, you're probably not really getting that much. Like, that's just facts, right? And if you didn't do it before, then you're probably not doing it now. I pledged a frat. Like I did a lot of shit. You feel me? I still am tapped in and I do a lot of shit, but I'm chill with being at the crib. When it comes down to it, though, a lot of this shit is like you're not really gonna be out interacting with people. So sometimes I feel like people who do live that lifestyle fail to realize that you don't have to try and search for these individuals like online or even like through kind of weird means of trying to find love or attraction and all that shit. And then it's like you get that negative um, reaction from women who just aren't interested in that. But like going to these events, like if you're really looking for somebody in this shit, like go to an IRL event. I promise you, like it's gonna save your fucking life. Like you will find so many people that can speak your language, that are actually interested in what you're interested in. You can have conversations with a lot of not just women but men, like whatever your thing is, you feel me, like you're gonna be able to find that person that's gonna connect with you on every single topic that you're interested in. I know I've been blessed to meet very beautiful women in this space just from tapping into IRL events and talking about NFTs and shit. It's fucking crazy. Like I never thought I would be interacting with like, just be real, like some baddies, right? And they love crypto and NFTs. I'm like, what is going on? Like I didn't think they'd be trading like this. Like they're going crazy. Have bored apes, have fucking mutant apes, have like all this shit. I'm going crazy right now. I'm gonna shut up, but it's just
Well, I have a quick question for you. So, I mean, you said you've already met women that are like in it, and it's just a different feel. Like it hits different when you're connecting on that level. So, my question to you is, if for some reason, if you meet somebody else that is not into NFTs, is that like a deal breaker for you at this point because it's so embedded in your daily life? How do you feel about that?
so. I mean, I guess I'm kind of different. I'm not really searching for like a relationship at this point in time. So like for me, I don't really care if she's into NFTs or not, and probably like it won't even matter much. But if there was going to be, you know, a relationship or something that I would pursue long term, it would definitely have to be incorporated in that relationship because it's going to be something that I'm talking about. It's going to be something that I would actually, I don't want to say pressure, but push as something to strive for. You feel me? Like I would want my significant other to be involved in this. I think it's revolutionary just across the board, not just for NFTs, but cryptocurrency as a whole, right? So I would hope that my partner would be interested in advancement and all that shit. You feel me? Because that's what I'm interested in. So uh, at first, not much because I'm not really looking for that now. But if in the future I was going to try and find somebody to do this with and settle down type shit, yeah, they probably got to be a little bit interested into this because it takes up a lot of my time now, and I'm just doing it for fun.
Yeah. But I think it's more meaningful. Like, I mean, being in a couple that I kind of feel like we're moving towards a future together and we get each other, we get what we're talking about, and we get, our struggles. So, yeah, I agree with you. But I wish you the best of luck. I mean, you sound like a decent guy. You got time too. So,
Yeah, yeah, I definitely got time. I was very blinded earlier on when I was a younger man, and I dealt with some really rough relationships and got through that shit. And now I'm just trying to figure shit out on my own, move through it, have a good time, enjoy my 20s. You feel me? Probably settle down when I'm 30 type shit. But yeah, I'm I'm Mr. Single for a minute. I'm not I'm not trying to get back into anything.
Yeah, bro. Stack the cheese and enjoy yourself. Straight up. You ain't got no kids, so that's you know they're a blessing. But enjoy yourself. That's all I could say. But that's so awesome, man. I mean, no matter what, you have to, because you're gonna be going. Whoever is in your life in this game, and if you're in it like we're in it, they're gonna have to come along for the ride, because it would cause too much, riff, them not being in it. You can't go to NFC NYC twice a year, in Vegas once, and Red Bloom all without her. It's just so. Either way, that's why I'm very fortunate now. Chrissy's like, we're going to Miami, we're going this. I'm like, shit, what are you talking about? How much? You don't even know. So it's really cool now. But I like that though. At least you can fail together and not feel that pressure of failing alone, right?
Definitely, definitely cool to have a teammate. That's something that I definitely would want long term in this, because just like you guys talk about having a relationship where one is going to be looking at something to hold, or one's going to be looking. I don't know how that has shifted now, because I know both of you were selling a bunch of shit. So, not sure who holds that piece of the dynamic now, but having that other person to bounce ideas off of, or even say, hey, do you think this is a good investment idea, or should we sell this? Should we hold this? Like, just having an individual there to be able to make these very hard decisions is
Absolutely.
super integral.
That's a fact. What up, Stockham? Before you say that, it's before you say something I wanted to say, because last night it's perfect thing, D. Like, I've been trading just like you, and I'm like, yo, I could get a robot head ape, another ape society. I like them, but I had to give up my 3 boss cats. And Chrissy's like, first intuition, we had the same intuition. Like, do it. Like, is it a good play long term? Nah, who knows? Right, 3-1. You know what I mean? But like now, we like just do it. So it's like, and again, by yourself. Yeah, it's just like you said. It's cool, to have someone there to bounce some shit off of.
I love hearing you say that too, Daily, because it is important. It's not like just being into something that your significant other is into, maybe crafting or sports, or you could say anything like those. But this is like financial and in the future and stability and life changing, and so huge for you both to understand what's going on, so you could try to make future decisions, together and current. So I like that you said that, because that was another great view to look at. It's not just joining something your significant other likes. It's joining something really important for your relationship and your future. What's up, Stock Trade?
Hey guys, how you going?
Really
Just
good.
chilling,
So
About you?
hanging.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I just seen you guys were hosting a space, so I thought I'd jump in, see what's going on. My partner is in NFTs too, so I think I told you my story that my missus was not interested at all, pretty much like the people that Daily meets. But yeah, look, I think once I got into apes and she see the price going up, she became interested, and now she's got 5 apes. So yeah, she's. She keeps bringing NFTs to me. Are we going to mint this? Are we going to mint that?
I
And the
love
general
that.
answer these days is no.
How long has it been since you minted the apes?
Oh well, so we didn't actually mint ape, so obviously I got in right on mint, but for whatever reason couldn't mint. She got in probably, I don't know, 2 months later. So she was buying at around 500-600.
So she was buying after we all talked and met, Stock, after we did the first ape spaces, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause
absolutely. Yeah.
that you got her. That's awesome.
Yeah, so she's got a few things now. Yeah, she's got apes. She's got one Kong. She's got one clay. She's got expensive taste. I've noticed that.
Yeah, sounds like Chrissy. And you got your son in it too, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, he was lucky, right? Because he picked up an ape. So he was in before Lynn was. So he got an ape. What did he pay for his ape? I think he paid 300 for a craftsman. And then when the mint came through for the cabins, he picked up a B Shadow, man. So he did really well. Oh,
So
yeah. So now he's right into it. So he's picking up things without me even knowing now, right? So I sort of put him onto bubble jets and javelins when they were really low around the 70s. So, and then he picked up four of each, which he didn't tell me about, to send them in his wallet one day. Yeah, he's minted a few parcels of land. Yeah, so he's got, I don't know, he's probably got about 25 NFTs. Oh, sorry, no. He's got about 25 NFTs, but then he's also got 30 crocs. He's got about 55 NFTs, which is not bad at 18.
That's amazing. That's what we're always trying to do is tell our little ones about it, especially, but they're not, they're not old enough. Haven't started buying. I mean, they haven't bought any yet, but they like to pick them out for sure. Does your son have a wallet, his own wallet and everything?
Yeah, yeah,
All the-
yeah. Got his own Binance account, his own wallet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's working, so he gets paid, and he puts a bit of money into crypto every week. So he's starting to build up a fair bit of ADA now.
How old is
And
your son?
he's 18, which I know dates me. But
The
my daughter, she's
perfect age, though.
yeah. Well, that's my daughter's 15, and we set her up a wallet last weekend. She's taken a lot longer to get enthusiastic about it, but now she's seen how much her brother is making. She's got a part-time job after school and weekends at Domino's. So she's making $200 or $300 a week. So we put $1,000 of hers into Ada last weekend. Not quite enough to buy an ape, but she picked up 2 or 3 cabins. And I've given her like a full set of the Cardano Summer NFTs. And I gave her a combo when we minted the Virtua stuff over the last couple of days. So she's getting into it, but I mean, I think for her, because she doesn't get involved in Discord or any of the community aspects, which I think are, I mean, that's the interesting stuff, right? Engaging and mixing with people. She just looks at it as an investment. I'm just going to put it in there. I'm going to put $50 a week in, and we'll see where it is in 2 years. Dad, you're telling me it's going to like go up 5x. So she's just looking for the financial return. By the way,
So
she actually
what?
had a. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to ask you. I mean, it seems like your children, you've got a 15-year-old and an 18-year-old. So what would
Yeah.
you tell them to like look out for if, with blockchain or Cardano, just to make sure that they're safe in this space too, because they're fairly young. So what would you tell them?
Well, look, with Casey, obviously she's not old enough to have her own Binance account, so I manage her wallet and her accounts. Look, with Thomas, I think, look, my biggest learning. So when I first minted Crocs, which was my very first project, I jumped onto CNFT.io and picked up a few off there post mint, only to find out that they were scams and had the wrong policy ID. So the first thing I told Thomas was obviously always check policy ID, and showed him how to basically do that and validate it was the right policy ID for the project. Obviously, look, he's been on Discord for years because he's a huge gamer. So he knows about DMs, and obviously told him to avoid any links. But he's pretty savvy around there, right? Because he's in technology. So yeah, mainly around policy IDs, how to research things, how to jump on PM pool, just basically teaching him about the tools that are available to avoid scammers.
And that's the big thing is getting into the space and knowing kind of what to look out for because it is still so new. So they're already so early in it. That's amazing. I love hearing that. I'm sure Chronic loves it. He talks to our kids about it constantly. He's going to want to have wallets set up for all of them here soon when they're old enough to kind of take over.
Yeah, well, as I say, I've probably taken me, well, nearly a year to get her from complete disinterest to actually investing some money. And look, I think there's definitely a switch that goes on when they put their own money in. like, because I gave them the first couple of NFTs. It's very different, I think, once they start investing their own money from their own work. Now they've got a bit more interest. And the other interesting thing was she had 4 girls sleep over last night. And I was walking past the room and I could hear that she was talking to them about NFTs. So there was a little bit of dialogue going on amongst her and her mates who obviously don't know anything about the space. But yeah, that seemed to go on for like half an hour. So there was a bit of interest there. So maybe there's a few more young girls about to jump into crypto.
That's cool because planting one seed can just grow so far. I mean, even in the little minds that may even act not interested, they still are passing on the information, whether consciously, subconsciously, it just comes up. Once they're learning it, they pass it on. So that's cool. You have a whole different perspective. You have a whole family into crypto and NFTs, not just you and your wife. So I love that you came up and shared that. Thank you, Stock Trade, our fellow ape vendor. We appreciate that.
Right.
Christopher, what's up? How are you doing? Do you have a significant other in NFTs with you, or would you like that if possible?
I suffer from PTSD, so it's just me. But yeah, maybe I'll find one eventually. But I'm about to tag you in a Twitter that made me think of a shirt I designed. It says, "My kids play with cryptocurrency."
Awesome, Christopher. Thanks for that. Your t-shirts are really cool. You did a great design on those.
I've done over 100 of them now. I get bored.
Very cool.
Yeah, those look great. I love the one that says Women in Web 3. That's a really nice shirt there. It's a great job.
That's how I make my living. I sell a couple hundred a week.
Wow. That's awesome.
So, Ada girl, I feel like we've gone through, being in with a partner or no partner or single or however it is in NFTs and crypto, which has been really cool to hear everyone's stories and their backgrounds and all. But is there anything you all want to talk about? Like what's been going on this week? What is coming up this week? What are you minting? What are you excited about? Just throw it out there. We're here to talk about anything. We're getting into the second hour of it, and we can move on to more discussion if anyone is ready. Ada girl, what do you think, Lucy?
Definitely. We are totally open. It's like an open forum now, y'all. Y'all can talk about whatever you want. But I do want to give some shout outs to the people that are in here and have been supporters. Like I see Shirley Lou. Welcome, girl. So happy to see you. Cobra, of course, my brother, Crypto um Dazed, Mopar. Thank you guys for coming. Babaloo, you're still here, yay. We've got so many supporters and we're just so happy. Diet Water is here. So yeah, if you guys want to come up and talk about, maybe some of the most exciting, like there've been some pretty exciting, controversial mints this week. So just let us know. We'll get you up.
I agree. And I love how you shout out our fam down below all the time. I really love doing that as well. We really are lucky to have some great supporters. Thank you again for joining us. We see you all: Cobra, Kev, Cloud9, Painter, E, Dazed, Riv, Mopar, CeeLo, Sales, everyone, Renem, Muddy, we love you all. Crypto Rob, thank you guys. Ada Legend, Diet Water, thank you for joining. And everyone else, I wish I could just keep going. I could, but I don't want to get y'all crazy. But Gully, what's up? I saw your hand go up. Thank you again.
All right. I just wanted to ask Stock Trade, like, because I didn't hear the AMA or the space with the apes yesterday. I couldn't stick around. I know they kept their cards pretty close to the vest for the most part, but Was there anything you may have picked up on like what those question marks, like is there anything that may have alluded to what they really are, giving you any more of a better guess?
Well, you know what these lot are like, man. They say a lot of words without actually saying anything in specific. So it was a bit like pulling teeth. Look, I suppose the thing I pulled out of it was there's certainly a lot of excitement amongst the teams about what's going in those question marks. Um, they definitely alluded to some of them are going to be related to DeFi, some of them are going to be related to commerce, some of them are going to be related to entertainment. No real specifics though. Apparently, the first one's already been worked out, so it looks as though they're going to probably launch them one at a time, maybe over the next few weeks and months. Yeah, look. I mean, when asked what are you most excited about with the project, they all basically said the question marks. So I suppose it sounds as though whatever they're going to be, they're going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait until that first one is revealed, and that'll be in the summer, right? So by the end of the summer, we'll be hearing at least what the first question mark landmark is.
Yeah, then you get a sense of where they're going with everything, you know.
Right. I wonder
Yeah,
what the drop is.
yeah. I think there's going to be. Yeah, look. I get a sense that the first one is going to be DeFi related. Um, but that's more a gut feel, reading between the lines of what Congo was saying than anything specific. But yeah, look, I mean, we chatted for over an hour, and I don't think they gave away very much alpha at all, really. It was a bit disappointing. We tried.
That's what I told you, girlie. Yeah, I told them same stock. I stopped. You know, you were trying, and I was like, I'm not even trying to ask them because, like, they all three were up there, and they wouldn't even. Yeah, I was just like, I'm not gonna sit there and look like a fool constantly because, like, I said once, and Matassa said, I'm not. You know what he said something, but I was talking about the king and some shit, and he's like, he's shot me down. I'm like, okay, you know, like shit, like that was awkward.
Yeah, well, that's right. I think he was pretty clear that right now they're not planning on giving the Kings any more privileges, but I think they did allude to the fact that there will be something down the track. It's just not their focus. It didn't actually. The Diamond Hand trophies didn't come up, did they? As far as when they're going to be released.
No, those didn't come up, and that's a good question.
Yeah, I
Um,
wish I thought of it on the day.
Talked a lot about wanting to create the brand and so they can move into merch. And I wanted to ask more about the market too, like the Ape Society market and what that's going to look like coming out in the fall. Is that right? I think that'll be coming out in the fall, but we didn't get into that.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be learned. That obviously, the dashboard has to be launched before staking. So I think the other two bits of, I suppose, things that were said that were probably noteworthy was that they are absolutely trying to make staking non-custodial. So that is the goal. Sounds as though there are a couple of technical challenges with that, but hopefully they manage to pull that off so that people can stake NFTs from other projects and get the rewards from that project as well as apes. So I think that'll be a big issue if it's custodial, to be honest. And then I think the other thing was the branding. Now, MP, like he seems like a really good guy. So I mean, I don't know. You guys probably don't know too much about my background, but look, I was in marketing for 10 years, 5 years. Ran marketing for Vodafone Australia. So I have done a lot in brand marketing, and I think what was interesting was that yes, we're not talking about font types and colors and logos. We're talking a much bigger, more encompassing brand strategy. So that sounds quite exciting, and MP, really answered the questions well, I thought, and yeah, I think he certainly knows what he's trying to achieve. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that rolls out. And I think that will differentiate apes even further in the market if they execute that well.
I need to do some more research on these ape, the society apes, because I did not, I kind of slipped on this project. Kind of makes me a little sad. But there are there's so many projects that are just pretty exciting. And, I know that Christy and Chronic really love that project. And so, it's super interesting how really strong projects have really strong communities. So, Gully is asking about the AMA. The fact that the leadership or the leaders of the team have AMAs and, spaces and things like that, that's a big deal. For me, that's a huge deal. I love to see that. It means that they care about their community and they want to continue to, inform them. And who does that remind you of? It is the big leader, the little leader. So yeah, I love that. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm not across anywhere near as many projects as Chronic and Chrissy. I really pared back what I look at these days. But look, I think it's a super well run project with a really capable team. And, I'll back the team over the project idea every day of the week because obviously the team are the ones that ultimately have to execute and deliver the value. And I think they're a really solid team. Love the artwork, love the game theory and the gamification of the project. I love the fact that they're tying NFTs into DeFi. So I really think that's going to be quite exciting.
Yeah, DeFi is going to start to explode, especially after the Vasil hard fork. There's so many CIPs that are coming that are going to enable more functionality in DeFi. So I'm just kind of curious as to what I just want to say like the top three DeFi projects that you guys think are going to be kind of leaders, maybe. I have my thoughts, but I'd like to hear what you guys think.
Good question. I'm not sure who's going to jump in. The ones that I'm looking at are, um, look, I actually love everything that FTX is doing, right? Sam Bankman-Fried. I reckon that is going to be an absolutely amazing organization. And the fact that he has been taking his free cash and buying up strategic assets and customer bases during the bear market, I think he's super smart. So that from a larger, more centralized DeFi project, I really like FTX. Um, the other smaller ones, I personally really like Meld. Um, the issue I've got with Meld at the moment is I think they're still trying to struggle to answer the question of how we're not a Ponzi scheme. And I think the key with Meld, and look, I don't hold any min, and I won't hold any min until they get their banking license, um, which I think is going to be end of this year, early the year after, early next year, when we spoke to the team. And then the only other one that I've really sort of looked at is what's the is ADAX, who have had a complete fail on the initial launch due to the fact they had zero liquidity. But the reason I'm still keeping an eye on them, don't hold much ADAX at the moment, is that they did build a centralized exchange trading platform that was successful. Unfortunately, when they launched their DEX, they just didn't launch it with enough liquidity, and the UX/UI experience was awful. So they're rebuilding that now. I'll be interested to see what version 2 looks like. But it's something I'm keeping an eye on. I'm not invested in it at this stage. They'd be my three.
Interesting. Those sound pretty solid. And what just curious because I seem to really know your stuff here. Which I guess Dex or Sex do you think is going to be successful? Like I love Muesli Swap, but that's one of the first ones that came out that was really functional. And but yeah, since MinSwap come out, I really, really like and enjoy using MinSwap. What do you
Yeah, look. The problem with Muesli Swap is it's an order matching system, right? They don't have an AMM, and that's a real problem. Just because you've got to have sort of the exact order volume in order to be able to execute a trade. Whereas MinSwap does have an AMM, and obviously it has liquidity pools, etc. Um, it's a better business model, and I think MuesliSwap are going to go to that model at some point, hopefully. But MinSwap's model is much more like a traditional market model, but it's much more like the CX model. And they've obviously got a lot more total value locked than everybody else. And look, the primary reason for that seems to be Sunday launch. They had good capabilities, but unfortunately, if you want to provide liquidity, there's minimum lockup dates. And although lockups seem to be common and accepted on Ethereum, the Cardano community doesn't seem to like lockup periods, right? And I don't either. If I want to be able to get in and get out, and obviously MinSwap doesn't have a minimum lockup period, so you get flexibility, whereas Sunday does. So you're sort of seeing them flip, right? So Sunday launched, it had the highest TVL. Then MinSwap launched with no lockup periods, and a lot of that liquidity came out of Sunday and into Mint.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And one of the things that I love about Muesli Swap is that it has this wallet token distribution type of a visual aid of if you put in your wallet, it'll tell you based on the tokens that you have in there, how much they're worth, total ADA in there. And then it has a breakdown of how much you have of each item in there. I really like that. I don't know if they have that. I haven't seen that in MinSwap. So I continually go back to Muesli Swap. And we talked about the top three. I can tell you just from this token distribution in our token wallet, we have a bag of Ardana, and that's like the 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 big one that we have. Then we also have
Yeah.
Liquid,
Yep.
and then we have MintSwap, and I'm super bullish on NFT Maker. Just and then we have some Wi-Fi also. So there's I'm really excited about DeFi, and I'm really excited about it taking off. Specifically, again, like I said, in the Vassal hard fork that's going to come up, it's going to start to propel them forward. But really, Hydra is going to be the defining.
Yeah, look, I've got the Wi-Fi NFT and I've got the Diamond Hands from Meld and that. I'm dabbling in a few of them, not much though. I haven't been comfortable till now. Well, even now, um, to lose custody. So I'm always going to go where there is liquid staking rather than basically the ability to retain custody. Um, rather than handing over custody. And obviously, what's happened recently with a number of the DeFi projects like Celsius, etc., where obviously
Definitely,
once you
yeah.
hand over, and look, I think people have just got to get smarter with these things, right? If somebody's offering you 12% return or 14% or 20% or some ridiculous number, you've got to ask yourself, how are they generating that return? They're not just sitting on your Bitcoin and hoping the Bitcoin price goes up, right? They are essentially investing that in riskier projects that generate them a higher return so they can split it with you. But when things go pear-shaped, they lose your capital. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's as simple as that, right? I mean, literally, there's only two ways to generate a return, right? One of them is, let's say, with Cardano staking, where you've essentially got an inflationary based protocol that is issuing more ADA over the next 40 years, and that is used to pay the stakers. Or it's an investment of some kind. And the higher the return, the higher the risk. I mean, that's just life, right? In the real world or and in crypto. So if somebody's offering you a great return, look under the hood, man, because I tell you, you're taking a much bigger risk than you think.
Yeah, very wise words. I completely agree with you. I feel bad. There's a lot of Ethereum people who have their Ethereum locked up until, 2.0. It's quite unfortunate because they couldn't even really cash out at the highest if they wanted to because it was locked up. And so, we always hear not if you don't have the keys and they're really not your coins. I kind of understand that, and I think that if you don't have it, you can't protect yourself from, it just being locked up somewhere, then do you really even have it?
Well, the answer is you don't really have it, right? I mean, that is the ultimate answer.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do it for you, then you don't have it, right? And the thing is, I mean, the issue you're talking about there is impermanent loss. There are so many people that went into the DeFi projects that experienced significant impermanent loss to the point where they broke even or lost money. Impermanent loss is a real thing, right? And obviously, there's less volatility now. We're sort of in a consolidation phase of a bear market. But when we're back in a bull market, those things are going to, play into return scenario as well. And I don't think most people have the level of knowledge or sophistication to understand the risk of impermanent loss.
Totally agree. And I think that that's where, we always talk about, doing your own research. And sometimes, like, Malibu, he's like, why don't you do the research? And I will, I don't mind. But I think that, and we're a couple, that's where we kind of gather our strengths and our weaknesses from that. But I kind of feel for people that are maybe doing this on their own and their partner has no interest in it. It can feel overwhelming and they're just like, I'll just, do this or do that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Look, I think the first question you got to ask yourself, if somebody says to you impermanent loss and you go, what is that? You should not be in DeFi.
That's a
Like, if you
fact.
can't answer that basic
That's a
question,
fact.
right?
That's why, yeah, absolutely.
Because those
Now,
products are complicated.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, every time there's like new, so with Luna and all the, cluster that happened there, it makes people very gun shy regarding stable coins or algorithmic stable coins. But regardless, I think that, we have JED coming out soon. And I feel like this is going to be a completely different type of stable coin. But what is your opinion on
Look, if I go back to when Charles was working with BitShares and with Dan Larimer building BitShares, so this was post Ethereum, pre Cardano. They did try to build. Well, they actually did build a stablecoin as part of that platform, and it was an over collateralized stablecoin. So I know from hearing Charles speak and then that the whole time that he is super super wary of algorithmic stable coins if there isn't significant collateralization. So the fact that he's a big proponent of JET tells me that, look, I haven't gone through the math, but tells me that I think the underlying mathematics and safeguards are obviously something that he agrees with. And for me, if Charles agrees with it, then I agree with it. So look, I've looked at Shen and I've looked at I've looked at the model, but I haven't spent enough time analyzing it for myself. But I think it is a different breed of stable coin. I think the fact that it's launching in a bear market is obviously another good thing, right? Because it's unlikely the market will drop 80% from here. And I think the way that the coin works is that there is a 5-to-1 buffer. So basically, the market or the coin, the market would need to drop by 80% for it to trigger any instability. But then I think they've also got some other stability mechanisms they can use, like issuing more shed, which is not 100% dissimilar to Luna, but I think it's a bit more sophisticated. But yeah, I hold Cody. I'm certainly going to give Jet a go when it comes out. And I really hope it's a successful stablecoin.
I completely agree with you, but I think really, I mean, I'm not sure if it was too much of this algorithmic stablecoin itself that ruined Luna. I think it was the centralization of Luna that really kind of made it more susceptible to what happened to it, honestly, because if there's a large majority of people that own it and they want to cash out, it's going to destabilize that whole process. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to see what happens, and I like Jed. I also, or my husband and I also hold Cody, and actually, I this is part of again being in a couple. I remember last June seeing a post about Cody when he went to Miami. I think it was when they went last year. And Charles put up a post about Cody. I would literally woke up my husband at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning saying, "Babe, we need to buy Cody." He's like, "What?" Like, "Babe, we need to buy Cody. Tomorrow we got to buy Cody." He was like, "Okay."
No, absolutely. Well, no, look, Charles doesn't. He doesn't throw his weight behind many projects. So when he does, it's certainly worth paying attention, in my experience.
So
Yeah, like you did last night. What you did with this virtual? Why you I heard you like this one. What's up with that? And why did it come out so late? And why was it so expensive? And I know you minted a decent
Yeah,
amount, so
yeah. Look, I went pretty heavy into that. I think I spent 25,000 ADA over the last couple of days on it. So, look, I mean, we've talked about this before, Chronic. Look, I'm in the software business. My son's a game developer. I really like the concept of metaverses. I think they will be a big thing over the next 3 to 5 years. I accidentally came across Virtua about a month ago. Purely, actually, it was to do with apes, actually. So I bought bloody 10 chateaus and 50 cabbages. And I was looking for a cheap NFT that would never rug, that I could stick in frames, right, over and above my apes. So I went to the Cardano Summit. They were selling for 8 or 10 ADA at the time. So I was basically just cleaning up the floor, just buying a whole bunch of these before I knew I had 60 or 70 of them. And then something came up in a tweet from Joshua Miller from IOHK talking about these Summit NFTs and how they were going to be useful in this metaverse called Virtua, which I'd never ever heard of before. So I jumped on, started doing a bit of research, found their site, went onto their Discord, had a bit of a chat. The Discord's very light. At that point in time, I would say 80% of the people on there were the mods. Good thing about the Discord is about 70% of all the mods, and there's lots of them, are women, which is unusual. Um, but so I started chatting with the mods. I ended up getting a DM backwards and forwards with Ash, their CSO. I watched a couple of his videos, Jawad's videos, did some research on Gary Bracey, who's an industry veteran who was actually working for Ocean Software and was the head of development for the game Doom and Donkey Kong. And I thought, okay, right, these guys have some credentials. Right, I've never heard of them before. They've been flying under the radar, but these guys have got some credentials. Then I went to the Williams F1 site because they said they were a sponsor, found their name on the sponsorship. You could see the name on the car. You can see the name on the driver's uniforms. They got exclusive access to Kong and Kong versus whatever that other thing is, the Japanese thing, Godzilla. And they'd minted those NFTs. They'd obviously done a partnership with Nitro League. They've built NFT cars that you're going to be able to race in the Nitro League track. They've already got 3 AAA games ready to launch. So what I really liked about it is these guys had started building a metaverse in 2018, predominantly based around AR and VR. They realized that there was too little penetration of AR and VR headsets in the market. So they switched their developments in about 2001 over just to a web-based metaverse. Every asset they've built since 2018 has been fully rigged, fully high def 3D, fully metaverse ready. So all those assets like the VFlex are all deployable in the metaverse. And yeah, the reason they haven't needed to mint lands up until this point is they haven't really needed the money. They've done it different to everybody else. Most people mint the land, use the money to hire the development team to build the metaverse. These guys have already built the metaverse with money that they've made from their NFT marketplace. They're minting the land essentially to obviously create awareness of the metaverse and also to raise some capital to continue development. But the metaverse is built and it's going to launch end of September, early October. So it's a long way ahead of Pavia and Cornucopias and all the rest of these. And the other thing that really pulled me in was they've got 200 devs. Now, most of these metaverse projects have got 2 to 5 devs, man. Like building a metaverse with 2 to 5 people, it's almost impossible. It'll take you years. 200 developers working on it with a guy that is part of the BAFTA, which is basically the British Oscars. He's a BAFTA member. He's won awards. He's built some of the best known games in the 80s and 90s. I've just been super impressed with everything that I've seen, and I've had a lot of access to the CEO and CSO, and they've been super impressive, and I like the strategy. So even though I hadn't known about them for long, I decided to mint, and super happy I did.
I completely agree with you, Stark. 100%. I am very bullish on this project as well, but I've been in several of their AMAs and just in the Discord as well, and it is very reassuring to me that most of the leadership is also very involved. Like you can hear them at the AMAs, you can see that they're really caring about what information is being out there. And I agree with you 100%. One of the AMAs that I went to, I point blank asked them, hey, when can we be in this universe? How long is it going to take you guys to build it? Because I know a lot of the metaverses that we have here in Cardano still have a year or two left for us to be able to fully utilize what they have. And they said it was either going to be the beginning of the third quarter or the fourth quarter of this year that we will be able to be in the metaverse. So, man, that was really exciting for me. So they've been working quietly. And I agree, there's a lot of fun, I guess, around the fact that I felt very sideswiped because the first I heard about this whole metaverse was at Consensus, when Josh kind of revealed it. I was taken aback. I had no idea about this. But what happens is that they've been working quietly and in peace without people hounding them about it. And they're ready to go. They're ready to have it.
Absolutely. And look, that was the other thing. I was on an AMA a few weeks ago with Josh and Jawad and Ash. And, I asked the question, so how are IOHK going to use that, use the actual metaverse? Because I wasn't sure. There's no sort of formal legal partnership in place. But Josh said, oh, look, so IOHK are going to use it this way, IOG are going to use it this way, we're going to introduce Catalyst. So inside of, the IOHK head office community, there are 3 groups, the Catalyst group, the IOG, and the IOHK, who have already thought exactly what they're going to do around education, around Catalyst meetups. So, yeah, this is not just Josh sort of saying, just throwing out Virtua's name. Like they seem really, really on board with what these guys are doing.
That's what's up, man. I hope it works out. Shit. And I know you're patient and you can do it, and that's awesome. And I figured you liked it, and that's what, Gully and I was talking earlier about, if you like it, and you into it, it must be, something that you heard, that made you feel this way. So super good, man. I hope that it bodes well for Cardano if it works out. So hope it does.
Yeah, I hadn't
Yeah,
heard.
look, some metaverse will succeed, right? Some metaverse will succeed on Cardano, and I just think this one is much further evolved than all the others at this point in time. And they've also got push to talk functionality, right? So you can converse with each other over voice over IP. So yeah, they've just ticked every box for me.
Yeah, I heard Ada Girl talking about it last night on Wild Cards, and I started messaging her about it and then checked it out, and man, they look far along. It looks amazing. I didn't know about it. Wow, I was just blown away. So I'm curious to get further into it and look more into it. What's up, Mike? How you doing? I see your hands up. You have a question or something to say? Welcome. Welcome up to speaker. Happy to have you.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me up. Yeah, I just had a question. I'm not very familiar with Cardano. Could you guys explain why you guys like Cardano so much?
Yes,
Like,
there's a
what's so
lot
great
of.
about the chain?
So, okay, so I'm a
Where's it
Cardano investor, so let me just start real quick. Like, so one, it is the most sustainable. The sustainability of the blockchain is superior to any other blockchain. For example, block, for Bitcoin to be used, it probably takes 28 households of electricity to sustain that. For Ethereum, it's 2.5 households of energy to sustain Ethereum. And for Cardano, it is literally 2.5 hours of playing a video game. So the sustainability, of course, is there. One of the things is we also use proof of stake versus proof
Sorry,
of work.
Edigal, can I just jump in? Because I
Yeah.
think there must be a qualifying piece to what you just said, because Bitcoin uses the same amount of energy as of Ecuador, the country. So do you mean
Let me
28 houses per block?
Am I rugging or is it?
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, okay. You can go ahead, Ada Girl. Go ahead with what you were saying, Mike. That was great.
Oh, no, that I have a visual that I can pin to the top so that you guys can see that visual, because for me it was very eye-opening in a way. So sustainability is absolutely there. And then of course, we have the proof of stake versus proof of work, where you have people mining for the native coin. We're here in Cardano, we have staking. So staking works. Versus the proof of work. But all of this also leads to like lower fees than like Ethereum. There's a lot of growth with Cardano. Cardano, we are just like halfway through our growth period. We still have two more phases of growth, like scalability, which we haven't even done yet. So I think there's so much to grow with Cardano. And of course, I just have to say that the community is absolutely incredible. Which blockchain are you from, Mike?
I've used Ethereum before. Um, I've played around with some others. I've actually just never been on Cardano. But I want to try going over there at some point and doing some stuff. Am I able to go over, and how do you get on? So how do you get your funds to Cardano? And then am I able to do anything like DeFi over on the chain, or is that still a work in progress, like you said?
No, we have some DeFi, although it is a little limited because right now we're fixing to go through a hard fork that's going to increase the capabilities of DeFi. I also have a Cardano onboarding information site that I can also pin to the top for you, because it has a super comprehensive understanding of Cardano, how to open up a wallet, because we have several wallets in the Cardano ecosystem, and it'll walk you through it. Because if you really are interested, I think that you will be pleasantly surprised at the efficiency of Cardano, how fast it can be. But I do encourage you to play around with it. And if you have any questions, I know Krissy, Chronic, Malibu, or I would definitely be happy to help you and walk you through it, because in the long run, I really do feel like this is a blockchain that is one thing too that I have to tell you, it is peer reviewed, which means every time they do something, it is reviewed by a multitude of people. So they just don't go and run and start something. They have to, have it peer reviewed. Everything is research based. So that's a very important thing for something that's going to be successful long term. So let me do that and pin those things up for you so that you can review them. But if anybody else wants to add to that, please let's welcome
Yeah.
Mike.
So Mike, you participate in NFTs over on Ethereum. I mean, is that your are you trying to do DeFi or what you trying to do, brother? I mean,
I
on
like it
over
all,
here too.
man.
I mean, yeah, what you do on ETH, and then what you're trying to do here, just a little bit of both, or ETH. I mean, a little DeFi and NFTs.
Yeah, I like staking.
Mhm.
Staking I think is really cool.
Do
I like
you?
NFTs, but the community has to be really strong for me.
And that's one thing we do have here on Cardano on with staking, you don't have to lock it up here, right? So you have like your Cardano wallet, say you have a Nami or Eternal, just like a MetaMask or a Coinbase and such. Say you had 10,000 Cardano, 100,000 Cardano. It's all relative, right? Depending on which stake pool, you just click and join. Right, it's not locked up. It's in your money, and if you move money, if you move ADA, and spend it on NFTs, it just deducts from that, and you get less of a staking reward. Right at the end of the month, or every 5 days here, every epoch, whatever you want to say, you get staking rewards. So it's usually like every 10,000, you get like 30 ADA a month, right? 30 to 50 ADA a month, every 10,000 coins you stake. But again, you can move and use that as you please, and that's in your possession at all times. So it's not locked. Now they will have protocols that I cannot speak of because I don't mess with DeFi, stock trade, and others can. That you obviously have to lock your ADA and double yield farm and stuff like that. So we have Min Swap, we have Muesli Swap, and I might be missing one or two, but we're about to get a few more, Mike. But the NFT game, the top 10 projects are like 2.5. Well, now let's say 2.5. They 3 ETH floor. They got a few projects like over an ETH floor, so we're getting there. You know what I'm saying? We're like the number 3 NFT volume. It doesn't show us on anything, and that's what we're trying to get. We have like very active marketplaces, behind OpenSea. It's not like that. They do a different. They have a UTXO model, and I cannot explain it at all. I suggest you just read the white paper like you did Bitcoin's Quick and Easy, or listen to Charles on YouTube and like go back and he'll like, dude, you'll just go down a rabbit hole of awesomeness with him. Honestly, Charles Hoskinson, right? And yeah, man, it's a little different. You should dabble in both. Absolutely. I'm dabbling in ETH now. I've been in it a couple years ago, but I was scared off with the gas fees and all that shit. But now I've been taking some Cardano, because I feel like I'm pretty well versed in Cardano and the NFT game. And now I'm transferring over into Ethereum, especially while the prices right now on ETH, like it's like 2,400 ADA or so per ETH, right? So whereas like 3 weeks ago it was 4,000 ADA per ETH. So then, and catch both chains. But last thing, it also is not as quick as like OpenSea. You click a button and you you just click and you sign. You always have to set like click in a spending password like every time you make a transaction. And the dust might be like every time you send something might be like 0.17 ADA, and if you make a transaction it might be like 1.5 ADA, so like $1. And you don't have to worry about gas like being like that. But I like ETH. I'm starting to like it more. But you got to be a lot more careful. Obviously on Ethereum, if you don't know how to read smart contracts and shit, like I really am not that great at, right? So over here is very secure at this time. Whether is that because what they built, which is peer reviewed and reviewed by freaking professors all over. It's very scientific and slow, which is good because you want shit to work, and that's why I don't shut down and all of this good stuff. But yeah, man. If you need anything that Ada Grad on, man, just shoot me a DM and I'll try to walk you through it as best as possible. And but yeah, man, it's definitely best to dabble in both worlds soon. It's gonna be all cross chain. And hopefully we're trying to get on like an OpenSea type thing too, because then the NFT game on Cardano is really gonna blow up, dude. And we'll be here.
That's
Yeah,
cool,
absolutely.
man. Sounds really interesting. How
Professor Chronic.
so like if I wanted to go like do a swap on Cardano, like if I had some USDC on Cardano, I wanted to buy some Cardano. How long would it take to do a swap?
You
Like on a
guys do it
DEX?
on Coinbase Pro, right? Are you in the United States or something like that? No, I see in Japan. I mean, if you have
Binance.
whatever you're on, right? Binance, right? Whatever you on, like just swap it USDC to ADA, send it to your ADA address, right? Just like your MetaMask wallet, it's gonna be your self custody. Put it on your ledger or whatever. Send it to your ledger. Link it, like just connect it to your hardware wallet. Connect it to the JPG.store, which is Cardano's biggest marketplace at this moment, and then you can then purchase the NFT or yeah. Did I say that right? I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant like if I wanted to swap something like directly on chain, like not on a centralized exchange, like using a DEX on
What's
Cardano.
good,
We don't have
fellas?
this coin yet. Though. What up, Mix? Stock trade, real quick. My bad. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mix. What's up, brother?
No, I kind of like cut in like for a reason.
Go, Mix.
So it kind of sounds like you're asking for ways you can do this without being on a centralized KYC process. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like on Ethereum, like I could like have money on MetaMask, right? And I could go into like Uniswap or I could go on the Sushi Swap and I could swap like
Right.
USDC or
You
ETH
got
for
you
a
got the
token.
stable coin. We're about to have like Jed, and that's what they were talking about. Cody and Jed, DJED, right? That's going to be Cardano stable coin soon, and that's what I'm pretty you can because you can't do USDC on MinSwap, right? Because you can't. So you'll have to do like when it happens, you'll have to do Jed, and that'll be Cardano stable coin. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't think you can. Correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. You can't use the USDC on any of our dexes yet. You know what I'm saying? Like we're
Not
gonna have that soon.
dexes, not on our dexes. Now, there are ways you can do non KYC transactions across chains. Um, and I would just say DM me because I don't want to put that completely out there on recorded spaces because I still currently use those things and don't want those to get stopped. But yeah,
Oh, so are all DEXs on Cardano KYC?
well, well, okay, dexes aren't specifically KYC, but if you get on any Cardano dex, you can only deal with Cardano coins. If you get on an Ethereum dex, you can only deal with Ethereum coins. If you get on a Solana dex, you can only deal with Solana coins. So as of right now, as far as I know, there's no dex to where you can do just straight up cross chain activities.
Oh no, not cross chain. Like if I wanted just to buy like a Cardano coin, like I want to. So if I wanted to come in and buy like $1,000 of every Cardano coin because I'm really bullish Cardano ecosystem, could I do that?
Well, as long as it's on Cardano, yeah, you could just get on like MinSwap or like Sunday Swap, and you can get access to most Cardano coins just straight up from there. So
Oh, okay.
you're just
But
trying to,
yeah, but not with the USDC, right? I don't think
yeah,
so.
not within
You would
USDC.
have to get ADA, brother.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying. You would have to convert your ETH to ADA, your USDC to ADA, then send it. to your
Yeah.
DEX, brother, and then offload as you please, right? By
But you
freaking all
can do
your.
that. But you can do that on a non KYC exchange. I mean, if you got a KuCoin or something like that, you can actually do that transfer to ADA. It's not KYC, and then you transfer it into the ADA ecosystem, and then you can buy as many ADA-based projects as you want on a DEX.
Oh, okay. And so if I transfer my ADA to the chain, how are the swaps pretty fast? Like, how fast does it
Oh,
take
the
a
swap
while?
is super fast on ADA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
Super
cool.
fast. Like,
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
get your money. Like if you send ADA, I mean, it's the same. It's like you'll send your ADA. It'll, by the time you send it, it'll be there. It'll pop up, and yeah, and then the swap should be, unless, yeah, it should be pretty instant from what I remember, unless the chain is congested, which it was a few
yeah,
months back. But I think
it
it's
Yeah, I
can
straight.
mean,
by
MinSwap's about a minute to 2 minutes, right? To basically get an exchange. It depends on the liquidity of the coin as well, right?
yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. It depends on whether it's like a popular coin on chain or not. Like I personally have my own like meme coin, and you probably wouldn't just be able to swap it very very easily. But like a Hosky, a Meld, Ardana, like the main coins on top of Cardano, like that, like most people know about, it would be very easy to get all of those.
Yep, yep. Meld's a good one to look into. They're gonna be, you know, giving loans out backed by like gold and actually, paying interest accruing daily like the banks do to you and shit. So it's like a self-paying loan. It's pretty awesome. It's called a genius loan. So look into Meld. That's one. It's cheap. It's like 0.05 ADA. So it's like something stupid. It's like freaking 8 cents or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be future of finance. So
And
they got a
actually,
lot of cool
that's
shit.
another good point. That's another good point, Chronic, that Mike want to know is like because it's an extended UTXO model, the fees are deterministic. So before you actually do a transaction, you know what the fee is, and it's always like 0.16, 0.17 ADA. So virtually nothing to do a transaction.
Yeah, so it's got a lot of and coming from Ethereum, dude, like it'll all make sense, and you'll be like, whoa, why is everything going so slow? And it's a good thing, right? Because you learned in the fast lane how to drive. Now you kind of pulling over to the slow lane and just scoping the landscape, and I think you should win. You know what I'm saying, Mike? Like you should win. Do a little research. They got some extremely smart people. The Cardano ecosystem is more mature. I think the age range, I think it was polled, those, I don't know how many people. It's over 30, I guarantee. You know what I mean? It's a different type of community. And NFT based communities over here are very big, and they're not like botted. They all botted, but it ain't botted like stupid shit. And you get access more freely to certain NFT projects if that means anything to you. It kind of does to me, type thing. But not always. But again, it's really awesome either way. You don't have as many utilities. They can't do as cool shit as Ethereum or Solana. But again, we're growing and we're right behind. So if you could picture ETH and shit 2 years ago, or a year ago, just put Cardano there. That's the kind of risk reward. That's why we're here. That's why I got in and sold my ETH for Cardano. Is for Charles Hoskinson. And I sold the ETH at 318 and got in at Cardano at 9 cents. And I'm only more bullish now, and I can give a fuck that it dropped 70%, my brother. I'm so freaking in it, and then we went in with these NFTs because we really do have an NFT market that's good, and Cardano is going to blow, and ETH's going to do well too. So that's what I said. I'm going to be in both rather than be a maxi in either, right? And then I just like to learn, and yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, thank you for filling me in on Cardano. I learned a lot. I'm really excited to dive more in.
Yeah, just YouTube. I mean, obviously, last thing say, hey, Dana, YouTube Charles Hoskinson, right? And just check him out on YouTube and just do like his whiteboards and his most famous shit. And he'll like the pond, the ocean, and the what is it that the lake, whatever. You'll see. Doc. I know you got me.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm
So
so glad
apparently,
that you came up, Mike, for sure. And I pinned all those things up to the top, so just check it out. I think that they'll be super helpful to you, especially that guide from the Cardano Foundation. And I'm just really happy that you came up.
Yo,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
apparently Chronic doesn't want to show himself, but he also has his own YouTube that you can pop in and get a
Yeah,
lot.
his YouTube kicks ass. Even though they don't film many videos recently.
Hey, all I can say is
That's a fact.
there are very few people that I get behind, and there are a couple of people that I definitely will. One is Chronic, and two is J Crypto, because I see them very, very involved in the community, so they know exactly what's going on. So,
Don't
you
don't
know,
get J Crypto and Journey Crypto confused though. Those are two different people.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. J
I did for the longest time.
J Crypto.
Appreciate you. Yeah, we try summer, man, with all the kids. It's gonna be hard. Krissy and I are gonna try to get back, and and it doesn't get any easier when you're traveling all over the country. That's for sure. But
Yeah.
thank you for the kind words, Mixie and Chris. Appreciate that.
You know
Yeah,
it, brother.
appreciate that. Thank you
We
so much.
got you.
Yeah, we've been wanting to get more videos out, but it has been crazy traveling, just all of that. When the fall starts or school starts back in, we'll be back into it.
And you need
But
a few hundred more horses too.
oh yeah, we do for that huge stable we're gonna have. We're excited about that. Thanks for joining Mixed and Dana. Game Boy, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, yeah. I was just listening down below. Good evening, everybody. And I just wanted to add one thing that I didn't hear mentioned. I don't know if is Mike still in here, but is he? Or did he leave? But I
I
was
think.
gonna say, go ahead.
Oh no, I said I think he's on.
Oh, yeah. One of the things that I didn't hear that I was going to add to that conversation was about the governance and how Cardano's kind of a little bit more mature as far as that experiment goes, and talking a little bit about Catalyst, but even just from my own experience of diving into that and understanding about all of the things being built behind the scenes, um, is something that I think makes us different than other blockchains as well. In addition to, when you hear somebody speak in a space, everybody in this community is so willing to share their knowledge, and going along the lines of that governance. The first time I heard TCT talking about DAOs, like months ago, back in the day when I first started listening in on Twitter Spaces, I had reached out to him, my business partner, and I, for just research for what we were doing. And he was so generous with his time to sit with us and explain what DAOs were, how they're used, examples of how they could be integrated into what we were doing. And so that was just something that I thought was something that wasn't spoken about, that could have added to Mike's knowledge. I think if he's a DeFi guy or somebody that's into, when you have people that are interested just in the native tokens, it's like when I was just on that side, I was very interested to learn about what is going to, make my investments go up. And even though we care more about building at this point, it's kind of like those things are very important to talk about too. So just my two
Yeah,
cents.
definitely, Dana. I appreciate you coming up and talking about that. I always enjoy when people come up and they want to learn more about Cardano, which is super important. And, onboarding new people is, I don't know, it just makes me super happy. So how are you feeling, Krissy? How is your timeline right now? I know you guys
She
are
got a
trying to
flight.
pack and stuff.
Yeah, she's got a flight in how many hours, Chris?
I
Three
know you guys.
hours.
Yep, I'm
She
leaving.
a
I know you
trooper.
guys got
Look.
got stuff going on.
Yes, I'm
Look,
gonna fly down to pick up our daughter in New Orleans, fly back, and then we'll finish packing up the car, and then we'll drive off for 2 weeks. It's always crazy, very busy. I think I'm gonna get up in about 3 hours. So probably will. I know. I'll sleep on the plane. Probably will call it a night here soon, but this has been great. Yet again, another wonderful space. I appreciate everyone coming up and speaking again.
111. This is a good
Oh,
time. 111. Good time.
Yo, I got a question. So Chrissy and Chronic, right?
yeah.
I do know that if I was to get on I-20 West, I can go straight to like California. But does I-20 West like stop through like New Orleans?
No, that's I-10, my brother. I-10,
Uh,
and I-10 will go to Santa Monica, California as well. So I-10 will take you to Jacksonville, to Santa Monica. So yeah, I-20's north, bro. You go to West Monroe, dog. You go up in the country boys up in northern Louisiana. Yeah, close though, bro. Well, not really, but
Where you at?
next in Atlanta. We gonna come see your ass one day. We always trying to. We pass it. We could take a. You can go east to Montgomery, but we go right. We go 65 to 59 instead of the Gadsden. I'm gonna go
Y'all get
east
your
to you.
asses and come to Raleigh too now.
Oh
Come on
man,
now.
look.
so, bro, pull up to Atlanta. We gonna go to Twerk Chicken. You already
Look,
know.
I got my 9-year-old teaching my 4-year-old how to twerk. I surely don't need my I can't be coming to your ass and be really
Where the hell
showing
did a
off.
9-year-old learn how to
That's
Okay,
twerk?
funny.
okay.
My
All
look,
right.
that's what they do down south. She's in New Orleans. She comes up here to Ohio, and look, that's all my little look. I swear, I'm not even bullshitting. It's
All
kind
right,
of
That's
look,
cool.
scary.
look, Ryan, this is what we gonna do. We gonna keep it PG, and we're gonna just go to the regular wing spot, American Deli or American Bistro. We ain't gonna go to Twerk Chicken. But if the kids are at like some fun place where they at, we gonna go to Twerk Chicken. I'm just letting you know. But
All right, my brother. Look, just don't get me shot up, man. I moved
What is
up
that, a
north, but
Hooters?
not moved up north not to get shot at, bro. Even though today, dog, we almost felt like I go get shot out. This dude got out his car and fucking like walked toward the other car. That's how people get shot, like, cause road rage and shit. And we were right behind him. We're like, is this dude gonna pull a gun out or not? And no, it's just stupid people. So, anyways, sorry.
trust me, Twerk Chicken, it's like it's in the neighborhood where I'm from. So like we are literally 100% safe at Twerk Chicken. Like that's everybody around that
Uh,
area I know.
oh,
So
good. I'm ready for some chicken, dog. That's my favorite.
Well, again, thank you guys so much for joining our space. Ada Girl, Lucy, I'm so glad to do this again with you. Thank you for coming up with these spaces. You said we should do it the first time. It's just taken off from now. I've been having so much fun doing it with you. We just connect really well. And I love everyone coming up here and feeling comfortable enough to talk. So, anything else you guys want to say before we end it?
I'm just grateful for everybody in here. Thank you to our hubbies who have joined us on this journey and everyone else who has come up to talk or to just listen. We appreciate y'all support. We appreciate you guys, and we'll be back here next week.
Hi, my name's Amanda from Wild World of Dragons. I also wanted to say thank you guys. I learned a lot about Cardano tonight. I'm fairly new in the whole NFT circuit, so this is wonderful for me. And I very much enjoyed your guys' open chat and forum. So looking forward to being here a little earlier on the next one.
Thank you
Wonderful.
so
Thank you
much
for
for
coming
joining.
in.
Yes, we're so happy to have you and thank you for coming up to speak. Hopefully next week you can come on up and tell us about your project or your story or anything you're in. We would love to hear about it or hear about your journey if it's very
Absolutely.
early. So please come and join.
So it's every week?
Yes. Every
Yes,
Wonderful.
every
I'll
Saturday at 10.
yeah, at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10, what is that, Central?
Yeah, it's Central, yeah.
I'm Pacific Standard, so it's only 10:15 here.
Okay, so it's like 8 p.m. your time, but we love
Yeah,
hearing
I
from
have
women. It's gonna be, I'd love for you to come back next week.
oh, I definitely will. That's actually something I'm kind of working on with my team too. So it's just perfect. They actually sent me to you guys to come check it out. So I look forward to talking with you guys next week.
Awesome.
But I know it's late for everyone, so.
Love it. Thank you so much. Well, everyone, have a wonderful evening, night, day, morning, whatever it is for you. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week, and hope everyone is safe. Thank you for being here, and love and light, all positive energy to you. And thank you for bringing it to us. Everyone, take care and bye. We love you.
Hey, safe travels. Safe
Yeah,
travels.
I'll
Be
see
safe, all
you,
right?
Jess.
Thank you guys.
We
Love
love
you
you.
All right,
guys.
love you guys. Take care.
Have a
Love.
wonderful night. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Everyone be safe, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, did you think I would cry? Oh, did you think I